All right, good afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Rick Matthews here with the Carolina Weather Group. We are watching a tornado warning that is in effect for parts of Iredell and Catawba counties. That's going to go until 4:30 this afternoon. This is a radar-indicated tornado, basically very close to Interstate 77. This is very close to Statesville, Troutman, and now east of Catawba in North Carolina here, north of Mecklenburg County, south of the Wilkesboro area, and really it's north of Mooresville as well. So it's really the area right along 77, where 77 US 70 come together, that we're watching for the potential of this isolated tornado. You can look at the velocity here, and right over Troutman, you see the colors that look a little bit different. They're kind of lighter returns. Next up to our red returns here, that's the rotation in the storm, or the spin in the storm, and where that possible tornado would be. We do have some reports coming in of wall clouds associated with this. And of course, a wall cloud is kind of the step one of a possible tornado. And then we kind of step it up a little bit, and you get a funnel cloud out of that, and then you would have the potential for a tornado to touch down. Now, looking at the velocity, kind of taking it back in time, when it was west of Troutman here about 15 minutes ago, it was a little bit stronger, and now it's a little bit weaker. Looking at this from a distance, we're looking several thousand feet up in the atmosphere. When we look at the terminal Doppler off the screen here, we're looking at about 1,000 feet up, and there certainly is some rotation with that. Once again, a little bit of a broad rotation overall as this storm continues to push off towards the east, and we'll be passing over I-77 here very shortly, south of the Statesville exit between Statesville and Mooresville. So this is an area that's pretty heavily traveled, especially at this time of the day in the Charlotte area. And that's the concern, is for a possible quick spin-up tornado right near Amity Hill Road or Mambo Road, along where 21 and 77 come together. That would be where the area of concern is for the tornado. So, of course, if you're in this tornado warning, if you're in this polygon, what you want to do is seek shelter on the lowest floor, interior room. Best place in most homes is a hallway, bathroom, or closet. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. What that does, it allows you to protect your head, protect yourself from any flying debris that may get lofted by the tornado. And even though this will likely be a weaker tornado if one does touch down, potential is still there for some 80 to 100, maybe 110 mile per hour winds. And even if it's on the ground for less than a minute, that can do some pretty intense damage, and oftentimes can even cause some structural damage of some not as well built structures, mobile homes, manufactured homes, things like that. So if you're in this area, certainly you want to seek shelter if you're inside that tornado warning polygon. The other concern with this is also for some large hail, and a lot of times thunderstorms like this will produce hail. That's one of the ways you can kind of look at it and say, wow, this is a pretty intense storm with the potential to produce a tornado. Probably seeing maybe a quarter-sized hail with this, and a bunch of lightning, especially on the eastern side of the storm where the storm is heading towards. So you're going to hear the lightning and see the lightning and hear the thunder first. Then that's when the possible tornado will move in. We'll get a little bit closer, and we'll once again look at the velocity data. And I'll switch it over to our storm relative velocity. And right there, right near Troutman, once again, near Barium Springs is where the possible tornado would be, moving off towards the east. So areas towards Amity Hill, Cleveland eventually, Barium Springs, the Elmwood community of Charlotte, right along 70, or north of Charlotte there along 70. And if it holds together, eventually we'll be talking about more of Rowan County getting in on this, and maybe part of Davie County getting a tornado warning as well. This Weather Service tornado warning was issued, let's see, it came out around 4:06. It's going to go till 4:30, so about 6 more minutes on this tornado warning for these areas north of Charlotte here, right along 77. We look at a couple of different products. I'm looking at our normalized rotation product here. This kind of shows you the average spin in the atmosphere, and not seeing a ton with it. Look at the hail product, our hail density. Once again, not seeing a ton of hail there, but once again, we're looking several thousand feet up in the storm to where we're at the altitude of almost 8,000 to 9,000 feet up in this storm. So sometimes hard to see what's going on at ground level, and we're probably looking at more like the mid-level rotation with this system as it moves across instead of the low-level rotation. But the rotation with the storm will be coming over I-77 right now, right near Murdoch Road and Amity Hill Road. There's a well-defined wall cloud with this, according to some social media pictures. I'm monitoring some of our friends at NBC Charlotte, Brad Panovich, showing some pictures there of a wall cloud in the area where this storm is located. And with the rotation signature on radar, not surprised we are seeing the wall cloud with this storm. No indications when we look at, we'll switch over a different product here, correlation coefficient, no indications of any type of tornado debris, and that's a good thing, because if there was, this probably would be a stronger tornado because it would be lofting debris 8,000 to 9,000 feet up in the air. So we're probably not going to see a tornado debris signature with this if one does touch down very briefly with this storm moving across portions of Iredell County. And I'm getting ready to quickly move here into Rowan County, at least the northern portions of Rowan County around Cleveland, north of China Grove. It'll be along Highway 70, US 70. As you come out of Salisbury, head west towards Cleveland, that's when you would run into this storm. I-77, the rotation pretty much right over there now. So shortly, I-77 going north and southbound there from Statesville to Mooresville will be clear, and the tornadic circulation will have passed off towards the east. And really the community we'd probably be more worried about now is the Elmwood community, because you're next in line for this storm as it pushes off towards the east here, just on the far eastern side of Iredell County, right before you get into Rowan County. So right about almost on the edge of where that red polygon box is there on the right-hand side would be where the Elmwood community is. And you can see the rotation heading up that direction. Pretty much would put it straight towards Elmwood over about the next 10 minutes is how much time you got between now and when the possible tornadic circulation would move into the Elmwood area. So if you're just joining us here, we've got about 3 more minutes left on this tornado warning that's in effect for Catawba and Iredell counties. Goes until 4:30 this afternoon. We have a severe thunderstorm warning. It's already in effect for parts of Rowan County. I can pop that on here for you. And you can see there's the severe thunderstorm warning box. And at the same time, we also have this severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of Catawba, Lincoln, and Catawba and Lincoln counties here, south and west of this warning that we've got for the tornado. This is all way far away from the Charlotte area, north and west of Charlotte. So no concern in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg area for either a tornado or for any type of severe weather at this time. But the main concern would be with that possible tornado located now east of I-77, heading towards the Elmwood community, just to the north of Amity Hill, but kind of along Amity Hill Road would be where I would expect this tornado to be moving here. We'll get in a little bit closer, and I'm going to turn off our radar for a second. And you can see kind of a lot of trees and a lot of somewhat rural land in through here. A lot of homes right in this area where that little kind of green triangle icon is there. And of course, you go towards Statesville, a lot more homes. Further north you go along 70. So they have allowed the tornado warning to expire. They're not going to reissue that. Let's get to the information on that. They say that the storm which prompted the warning has now weakened, showing no more signs of significant rotation. A new tornado warning will be needed if additional rotation develops with this storm. But at this time, the Weather Service is going to allow the tornado warning that was in effect for Iredell County to expire here. Still have that one severe thunderstorm warning here, south and west, for portions of Catawba and Lincoln counties. We go a little bit further north and east, and it's been a busy day of severe weather all across the state of North Carolina. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning here for the Winston-Salem, Greensboro area. That's Fort Davidson and Guilford counties. And then another severe thunderstorm warning for Pittsylvania and Halifax counties, southwestern portions of that in effect. And Caswell County and Rockingham County included in that. In fact, a new warning just came out there for Rockingham County and Caswell County. We look further west towards the mountains, and you get into Allegheny, Surrey, Wilkes counties, and southern portions of Grayson County. That warning has now just been allowed to expire here as we've gotten to 4:30, but had a severe thunderstorm warning there as well. And then as we go east towards Greenville, there's also a severe thunderstorm warning for Greene, Lenoir, Craven, and Pitt counties until about 5 o'clock this evening. So a busy afternoon of severe weather across North Carolina. We've got one severe thunderstorm warning here for Darlington and also for Dillon County and Marlborough counties. Can't spit that out there. That's going to go until 5 o'clock this afternoon as well. The main concern with any storm that does pop up is going to be the potential to produce some hail, potential to produce some gusty winds. And let me point out something to you here as well. In the Charlotte area, if we can see if, not sure we'll be able to see it here on this radar. But basically what's happening, if I could switch us over to our terminal Doppler, give me a moment and we will switch you over there. And what you're going to see here, this is an outflow boundary. Now moving through Iron Station and Triangle Westport, moving basically down Lake Norman. And the concern with this would be as it moves south, it'll help spark some new storms near Dallas, Stanley, Lowesville, maybe towards Mount Holly and into Huntersville. So keep that in mind as we approach the evening commute here, that we very well could see a new severe thunderstorm warning or new development here with these storms over parts of Mecklenburg County into parts of Lincoln, Gaston, Catawba counties, or Cabarrus counties over about the next hour to hour and a half. One last check of this storm here that's now moving into Rowan County. We'll switch back to velocity and kind of show you that. Not seeing any major signs of rotation with it, but it's something we'll continue to monitor here over the next little bit. And if anything else pops up, bring you more information as needed. So for now, I'm Ricky Matthews with the Carolina Weather Group. We will see you later.